We're already halfway through the year, but what if I told you that now is the best time to start your stationery business? In the next 6 months, you can go from idea in your head to a real business with real products and real customers. Maybe you've wanted to start a stationery business for a while now. Maybe it was in the beginning of this year. But as we all know, life happens. But I'm here to tell you it's not too late to start. Actually, it's the best time of the year to get started. I also built my stationery business within 6 months. So in this video, I'm going to show you what the steps are that you can take right now to achieve the same. So first, I wanted to talk about why now is actually the best time to get started. The first reason is because you can take advantage of the fresh start effect. Certain calendar events like a New Year's Day, a birthday, or even a Monday have this effect on us where we feel like we can start fresh. And this makes us more motivated to tackle that big goal that we've been pushing aside. The half-year mark is one of those calendar events. It's almost like a second New Year. So you can take advantage of this fresh start effect and start that business now. Another reason why now is a great time to start building your business is because you don't actually need 12 months to start a stationery business. Even 6 months is plenty of time. And maybe even better in the sense that the goal doesn't feel as far away. 6 months is just enough time to achieve the goal without burnout, but also close enough to create urgency and push us forward. So here is my 6-step roadmap to build a stationery business. Step number 1. Niche and vision clarity. You don't need to have everything figured out, but you do need to have clarity on what it is you want to sell and who it's for. So here I want you to think about what kind of stationery business do you want to be? Do you want to be a handmade business, a luxury stationery brand? Do you want to be more sustainability focused with recycled products? Get clear on what kind of business you want to be. And then you have to decide what kind of products you want to make and for who those products are. So this is where you would brainstorm your product ideas, but ideally you would only choose 1 to 3 products to start with. Start small and start specific. Start with 1 product for 1 specific niche. For example, planners for busy moms, aesthetic notebooks for students, or luxury planners for business owners. You also don't have to create physical stationery. You can create digital stationery products like digital planners, templates, printable PDFs, spreadsheets, documents, etc. Once you have clarity on your vision and your niche, we can move on to step 2, which is product design and development. This is the phase where I researched and learned everything about how to actually create my product. So that is what I would recommend you do as well. I watched so many YouTube videos to figure out exactly how to create the stationery that I want to make. And I even did this thing where I would take an existing product, examine how it's made, and try to figure out how I can make the same product. This is also the time where you are figuring out what kind of tools you'll need to be able to create this product. Here I would recommend starting with what you have. I personally started with my own little home printer, a needle and thread, a Canva subscription, and a mini cinch. I really didn't start big. And some of the things that I couldn't make myself yet because I didn't have that tool yet, I outsourced. But once I had the tools that I needed to be able to create my first few products, I allowed myself to make mistakes. I played around and tested different methods, and I just enjoyed the process. And that's something that I feel is really important. Another thing that I also had to figure out, not just how to physically make the product, but also how to design the product for my printer. Every printer is different and you have to play around with the settings, you have to play around with the designs until it comes out exactly how you envisioned it. This process takes time and you have to be patient when you are learning how to create your products. Step number 3, validate before you invest. Before you make 500 units, make sure that people actually want what you are selling. The first and maybe the easiest way to get started is to approach people you know and asking them, do you know of someone who might be interested in this product? Another way to find out if there is a demand for your product is by doing polls or asking questions on Facebook groups. If you know where your ideal customers are, try approaching them directly. Introduce them to your product and ask them if they would be interested in something like this. Of course, if you have a social media following, that's a great way to see if there is an interest in your product by posting about it or, like I mentioned, doing polls and things like that. Once you got your first few sales, make sure that you get feedback from your first customers, because this will also help you fine-tune your product to be an even better product for your future customers. Step number 4 is set up shop. It's really never been easier to open an online store and run your business from home. There are so many website platforms these days, but some of the most popular are Shopify, Wix, and Squarespace. If you don't want to create your own website, then of course you can use a platform like Etsy. Although I personally would recommend your own personal website, especially if you have a social media following or are building one. By running your business from home, you can keep your costs low and slowly build up to better and better tools and buying bigger amounts of supplies. Step number 5, build your audience. You've tested your product in the market, you've fine-tuned your product, so now you're ready to get your product in front of more people. If you haven't built your social media presence already, now is the time to do it. Building a social media following also means building trust with future customers. Post behind-the-scenes content and share your personal journey. Be yourself and be honest with people, and you will build trust with them. But I would really urge you not to only do social media, but also build an email list. People who sign up for your email list are people who really want to hear from you and are your most ideal customers. It's great to have a good product, but it doesn't matter if you don't have an audience to buy it from you. So this is really one of the most important steps, is getting your business and your products out there in front of people. Step number 6, creating a launch strategy. You can either do what I call a soft launch or a calendar launch. With a calendar launch, you have a specific date, and this can create a lot of excitement with your audience. A calendar launch is especially good if you already have an audience on social media, because then you can create countdown posts for the launch date. You can offer early bird bonuses or discounts for people who make pre-orders. And then you have the soft launch, which is good for when you don't have a big following yet. It also creates much less pressure and you just post whenever the product is ready. This is what I did with my business, and honestly, it's just so much less pressure. Maybe I'll create a video about how to soft launch your business, if that is something that you guys would be interested in. But if you're watching this and thinking, okay, I actually want to do this, but I don't know if I can, I totally get it. I know how overwhelming it can feel starting from scratch. And that's exactly why I created a course that breaks it all down into clear, doable steps to start, grow, and run your stationery business. So if you want to make this happen by the end of the year and you want more structure, I'd love to be the one to guide you. The link's in the description. So you've got 6 months, and that's more than enough time to create something amazing. So whether you go all in today or you just take your very first step, I'm rooting for you. And if you want to avoid the biggest mistakes that I made in my stationery business, then I would really recommend you watch this video next.